Hello and saludos. Please hang with us. We'll be starting in about 5 minutes. I just want to give you a heads up. Today we'll be talking about Dia de los Muertos. I'll be right back with you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining this broadcast of Shelter at Home. I want to thank the Alliance for California Traditional Arts for all the hard work that they do and for providing this forum for artists to come together and share with the community what we're up to during this pandemic. I think it's important to recognize that we are in a unique situation this year. And because of that, it's more important than ever that we have the opportunity to come together and celebrate the life that is around us, as well as the lives of those that have passed. And that's how we segue into Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. With so many of our events being canceled or postponed because we cannot come together, Day of the Dead is one celebration that we can't cancel or postpone because our muertitos, our dead, come to visit us during these days, and we need to be ready. There are different ways that we can celebrate this, and of course, still in isolation. We're not doing this all together, but virtually we can still share with each other what we are preparing in our homes, at the graveyard, and in our communities. We have a really wonderful community of artists in San Jose, and there are so many celebrations really throughout the state. I'd be happy to share links after this live broadcast is over with some of those sites so that you can check out their work. It's fascinating how through the internet now we can actually jump to other towns without having to get in our car and drive there. So I hope that you take advantage of this opportunity. Now, during the Days of the Dead in our homes, we begin setting up altars. Our altar will start going up next week. And generally what we will do is clear a central spot in our dining area, lay out a nice tablecloth, and begin to decorate this altar for our dead. We have, in my family, just this year alone, in the last 4 months, we've had 4 passings, and they will all be added to the altar this year as part of a celebration of their life. So we would include their photograph, we would include some fresh flowers, preferably cempasúchil, which is the orange marigold that you're going to see in a little bit. It is the flower of the dead, and it has a pungent smell to it. Candles, of course, to light the way for the spirits. At the very least, a glass of water to soothe their thirst after their journey. And in our house, of course, we include mezcal. My family is from the state of Oaxaca, and so mezcal is an important item on the altar in those areas. Also, pan de muerto, which is a special bread that is laced with anise. Delicious. It's like pan dulce, but it has that anise flavoring in it. And generally it's shaped like cross and skull bones. And again, all of these things I will share in photographs and links following this broadcast. I just don't have the tech ability to share screen with you at the moment, but I can certainly add these things to this feed. In the homes, the spirits are welcomed. Food is laid out. This is the time that I'll be cooking chicken and black mole, white rice, and of course all the things that in life that our muertitos enjoyed. Those things will be going up on the altar as well. In the graveyard, the families will visit the graveyard and clean up the area, repaint the gold lettering if it is marred. Lay out flowers, candles, food, same thing, keep a vigil throughout the night. And then just outside the graveyard, there'll be a carnival in full swing. It's surreal. If you're ever in Mexico during Days of the Dead, I would highly recommend that you go to Oaxaca, where these traditions are very strong. Michoacan is another state that still very strongly clings to these traditions, as well as La Región Huasteca, which is an area that pretty much borders 5 different states in Mexico on the East Coast. And that's how we move into the community celebrations. In La Huasteca, there is a dance called La Viejada. La Viejada is a masked dance that honors our deceased. And during this dance, each of the dancers will take on the persona of the person that they wish to honor. And they will create a mask or have one commissioned. These are generally carved out of wood. They're quite lovely. We don't have capacity here to chop down trees and carve our masks, but we do have other ways to create these masks using paper mache. And now more recently, with the popularity of face painting, that is also an option, although I have to share that my own teachers, my maestros, frown upon that, and they kind of lovingly refer to it as cara de panda, or panda face. But that's another, traditions evolving. It's another whole other discussion. So this dance, La Viejada, I learned back in the 90s, and I brought it to San Jose and laid it on my dance company. And it has been building momentum since then, to the point where now we have our own Viejada in San Jose. It's called La Viejada de San Jose. And new music was created for San Jose specifically. And I'll tell you more about that when you finish your lunch, because you're going to be dancing with me today. I hope that you can get a good stretch after you finish your lunch and enjoy the rest of what I have to share. But in San Jose was started a house party at the home of artist Rick Moreno. Now, Rick Moreno's work is throughout the city. If you're from East San Jose or San Jose proper, you would know who I'm talking about. He has a beautiful installation just in front of the bus stop at the Mexican Heritage Plaza, and as well as other works that he's been commissioned to do throughout the city. Now, Rick would host this party at his home every year. I would do the cooking. I would bring the mole, and it was a gathering of writers, musicians, poets, visual artists, performing artists, you name it. And year by year, this event went growing until we just didn't fit anymore in his living room. We spilled out into his kitchen, and then out to the back patio, and then out onto the front lawn. And I think at some point the neighbors complained, which was about the time that we were able to move our event to a beautiful historical building, which is the San Jose Women's Club, downtown San Jose. And we were able to move our event there for a couple of years before we outgrew even that space. There was just no more room for another living body to fit there, much less our muertitos. And so we moved our event to the Mexican Heritage Plaza, where we continued with La Ultima Parada for a few more years. And then last year, we moved the entire event to the grounds of the former university, National Hispanic University in East San Jose. It's a beautiful campus, and we felt right at home there on the east side. It's a beautiful community in that neighborhood. We had a lovely response from the school and from the neighborhood. So hopefully, pandemic allowing, next year we'll see you again on the east side. But for this year, La Ultima Parada will be virtual. We will be online on Sunday, November 1, starting at noon. And we're going to be sharing highlights from past Ultima Paradas, as well as new content provided by our artists, contributors. We're fortunate in San Jose to have many, many wonderful folklorico and mariachi and musical groups and theater groups and artist groups that participate in La Ultima Parada. And for us, it's an opportunity to come together and celebrate life, as well as the lives of those that have passed. And it's also a great opportunity to remind parents and grandparents, to get active with their children. La Ultima Parada's featured centerpiece is La Viejada, this dance that I'm telling you about. And we got to the point where we had over 200 dancers in masks dancing all together. Some were parents with their children, others were grandparents with their grandchildren. And it's a great way not only to cement those family ties, but also to get some good exercise, because who wants to be on the altar next year? I don't. I want to wait a few years. And so staying fit and staying healthy and through dance and through music is a wonderful way to, to hold off on being honored on the altar. Eventually we'll all get there, but for now, what's the rush, right? So I want to share with you a little bit about my family and how we honor Day of the Dead through La Ultima Parada. My husband and my son are musicians. Actually, they're both musician dancers, as is my daughter. And they all participate with this event. This year, or at this moment right now, my husband and my daughter are working, and my husband is a scientist. So today he had to go into his laboratory. Normally he's working from home. And our daughter is isolating and living in Walnut Creek. So you won't see her today, but I will be sharing footage of them as well in action as you see this live cast end. But some of the stuff that we do at home is we create paper mache masks, and this is one creation that was made for La Ultima Parada. This is a paper mache, if you will, in the style of a piñata. I started with a balloon, and then I created a frame inside to hold my head. You can see, find a camera here. Just inside there's a steel cup made out of wire that will help this to stay on my head like a hat. This wreath around the edge was actually a wreath that I found at Michael's when it was less than 50% off, and I picked it up and I created this headpiece for my Frida mask. And instead of painting it, I added felt cutouts because I saw that they were more vivid in color. So this is an example of one of the masks that we use for La Viajada. And then I have a couple of others here that I'll share with you as well. This is a giant calavera. And again, it's made in the same fashion. It's hollow on the inside. And this is a work in progress. This guy is eventually going to have his mustache attached. It's still a work in progress. Let me see, turn it this way. Yes. And he has his little hat, which is small on purpose to make his head, exaggerate the size of the head. And I'm painting this in the style of the embroidery of the Tehuana. So you can see I have quite a bit to go painting on this head. And here's another one that my daughter started in the style of a sugar skull. So sugar skulls are candied sugared skulls that are also used for Day of the Dead. And here on the front, you would see a little space for the name of the child or the person that you're gifting the sugar skull to. And then she included on the back a little quote, "Don't cry for the dead." And this is my daughter's work. So she's still working on this one. And like that, we have just the opportunity as a family to create art and stay busy and stay safe and ride out this pandemic, because it is real and it can kill you. We know that, and it's very important for us as a community to be responsible for each other, responsible as a community to stay safe and ride this out. So that said, now I'd like to take you through a little bit of a stretch before we get started with our piece of La Ultima of La Viajada. Now, La Viajada is a dance that incorporates over 500 sones, and you're only going to learn one today. And this is one that was created for San Jose, It is called East Side Llorona. So if you've ever heard the story of La Llorona, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you have not heard the story of the East Side Llorona, then you are in luck, because this year La Ultima Parada will be hosting a writing invitational for you to write your story and your version of the East Side Llorona, and we'll set the parameters for you so that we can get all those writing skills juices going, and hopefully we'll see a lot of contributions. So let's move on with the stretch, and then we'll get started with some footwork. This is actually my classroom at the moment. I am a lecturer at San Jose State University. I am teaching a Mexican folk dance class for beginners. I'm very proud to say that my class students generally will feed into the company that is run independently by students there at San Jose State. It's a lovely company. I hope you all get a chance to see Grupo Folclórico Luna y Sol at some point in your lives. And this particular dance has 3 different themes, musical themes, and they each have a step that corresponds. Generally, the dances in La Viejada will have 2 or 3 musical themes that repeat over and over and over. So it's very much like a line dance. It actually is a line dance that's done through the streets to the main plaza, where all the different groups will come together and share their dances. And it's also similar. If you've ever participated in the Japanese Obon festival, you'll see that they also have a similar type of dance, but it's done in circles, in concentric circles. But again, it's the same thing. A couple of choreographed moves that are done in repetition to live music. And in other cultures, there are the same kind of celebrations for the dead. It's just a great opportunity, Day of the Dead, to explore and find those similarities and celebrate our differences and still be a global community. So it's all possible. So let's get started with the stretch. I'm going to back up a little bit here and adjust my camera. If you're finished with your lunch, go ahead and take your last sip. And let's start with an upward stretch all the way to the sky, and then release that and come all the way down. I'm going to bend all the way down to the ground because I can, but you go as far as you can. And I'm going to stretch down over one leg and then over another. So I'm coming down over my right leg, and then I'm going to swing over to the other side, my left leg. And then I'm going to roll up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. And then I'm hoping that you can see my feet, because now I'm going to warm up my ankles by rotating first in one direction, then in the other, and then rotating from the knee down, and then back out. I'm going to switch legs from the ankle in and out. From the knee down, circles in and out. The beauty of La Viejada is that if you can walk, you can do this. And it's very basic steps. We're going to start with step to the right, and then bring the foot together, step to the left, and bring the foot together. So we step right together, left together, right together, left together, right together, left together, right together, left together. And we mark this step moving forward, and we are working with a partner. So in this instance, we're holding hands with our partner, and I'm going to walk away from the camera for 4 counts, and then come back for 4 counts. So starting to the right. Step together, step. 2, 3, 4. Turn around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's try that again. Away from the camera and 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn around. Step together, step. 2, 3, 4. You're doing great. I can feel it. Now, we're going to use that same step to circle around our partner clockwise. So we're right shoulder to right shoulder with our partner, and we're going to circle 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So let me tap our musician and see if he's ready to come out. Because the last part of this son of Isa Llorona involves a skip, 2 skips with 3 stamps while turning. So without the turn, we're going to skip once, skip twice, and stamp 3 times. Again on the right foot, skip once and twice and stamp 3 times. And then we're going to do the same thing on the left side. Skip once and twice and stamp 3 times. Okay, and we put that together. First we start on the right, skip 2, stamp 3 times, skip 2, stamp 3 times. And that's how we end Isa Llorona. So right now I want to introduce you to my son, who is also the composer, Luis Garcia.
Hello.
He's going to accompany me with the violin. And first I'm going to let him play Isa Llorona for you so that you can get a sense of the pacing. And take it slow, please, because they're all beginners. Go ahead and stand over there.
Why don't I demonstrate the fast pace first, and the original pace first, and then...
Okay. One, 2, 3, 4. Turn around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Circle partner. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip turn. Skip. Stamp 3 times. Skip. Stamp 3 times. And it keeps on repeating until I call for the halt of the song. And I'll be calling it by saying, thank you, mijo. So I called for the end of the son, and generally there will be a leader in each viajada group that calls for it with a call. It could be the sound of a horn, or a conch shell, or a hoo, and then all the dancers respond hoo, and then the musicians hear and they know it's time to cut that and continue on to the next song. So I'm going to ask Luis Javier to replay that now, but super slow. I'm going to go ahead and bring this down to my feet so that you can follow along with the footwork that you just learned. And remember that we have 4 step together steps walking away from your partner. Away from the camera, and 4 coming back, then 4 in a circle around your partner before you do the 2 skippy turns. And I'll be doing those without the turns, just so that you can follow along for now. Okay?
What time does it say?
Good. What time does it say? Okay. Turn around. you, mijo. Thank you. So Luis Javier is jumping back into class because he's actually in online classes. But I want to say thank you, son, for sharing that with us. And I also want to give time for you to ask your questions and make comments, and let's talk about your muertitos. This is something that we encourage before Days of the Dead. We want to celebrate their lives. We want to remember the good things, and we want to be able to share those with our future generations so that their memory doesn't fade, because then they're truly dead. My husband and I had the opportunity to consult for the Pixar film Coco, and we were very pleased with the way they presented the final work. They put in many, many years of research. We started working with them back in 2013. And I think that it really gives a great overview of the meaning of Day of the Dead and how it really is a celebration that starts at home. So if you have any thoughts that you'd like to share, please go ahead and make your comments. And I would love to hear them. I'm seeing some already. Thank you so much for your beautiful comments. So how long does it take to make one of these pieces? We really rely on the music as dancers. Once we hear the music, we can choreograph to it. My daughter and I actually choreographed the pieces that our son composed. We interleave them with some of the traditional pieces that I brought from La Región Huasteca. So it's really seamless, because since our children were raised in this tradition, they're very familiar with the style. And so he can, head over there and play his music, and they will pick it up and they will adopt it because it's in the same structure, the same musical structure. Cristal says she remembers La Llorona being mentioned near where she grew up, and when they were in trouble. And she says she's looking forward to learning about the East Side Llorona. Well, let me tell you, Cristal, that is something that I share with my university students. I encourage all of my students to write their stories. Write your own stories, because if you don't do it, someone else is going to write your story, and there's no one better equipped to write your story than you. And this is a chance to be creative. This song, East Side Llorona, was actually used, a part of it was used in Hector Armienta's La Llorona opera. And he set it with different instruments, and it's just, what he did with it was just incredible. Of course, our son was one of his students as well. He participated in his conservatory, and so this was just what a wow moment for the family, for Hector Armienta, to ask for a piece of music from him. And yeah, wonderful. Thank you for your comment about the wonderful music. I get to hear this day in and day out. There's music just pouring out of this house. And what are the plans with the family? Well, we just completed, we've been working for weeks. We completed an installation in Willow Glen in front of the home of Professor Julia Curry. We were invited to lay out an alfombra. The alfombra is carpet, literal translation. A carpet over sand, over dirt, that involves colored sawdust and flowers and natural living things, and it lays out a design. And I know I've seen it in other cultures as well. I don't know what it's called in other cultures, but in Mexico they're known as alfombras, and Oaxaca tapetes. They're also popular throughout Latino America. They're laid out in the streets or in the graveyards. So we completed that design, and it's actually part now of the celebration by San Jose Multicultural Arts Guild, who every year they put on an amazing event in San Jose. Again, just packed with artists. And I have to, hats off to Arlene, the organizer, for every year pulling it off. And this year they have wonderful plans. I'll include that link here. Their event is happening this weekend. The other, Cristal is asking how many pieces we've made during the pandemic. Well, the other event that we participated with during this pandemic, I have works in progress still, máscaras that I'm making right now. But we just completed a series of photo shoots with the photojournalism students at San Jose State who needed to learn how to light their subjects. And so my students from my dance class were the subjects as well as my family. And that's the photo that you see in the ad for this event. Getting into full dead gear is a project, and each year it's different for us, and each year we do our best to embody who it is that we're going to honor in the dance in La Viajada. So on November 1st, we'll be broadcasting through our Facebook page, La Ultima Parada, and it will be, I'll go ahead and put the name of the event here, and then I'll follow up with a link. And invite you to come and join us again and do your part of La Viajada, because we'll have at least 11 of the sones that we'll be doing together. And we also have workshops happening on Sunday, actually this Thursday and this Sunday. And you can find out more about those on our page. Thank you, Shweta, for posting that. Who are my most significant teachers? I've had the opportunity to work with masters in Mexico through international dance conferences that I've attended. But the four I have to say that have to stand out are two are deceased. Maestro Tizoc and Mimi ran their academy out of Mexico City, and they were like my folklorico godparents. Anything I ever needed to know, I could pick up the phone. They often traveled to California to visit their daughter, and I would get to hang out with them or take them to San Francisco or go to dinner, and then just ply them with questions. And they were both teachers of teachers, so they really taught me a lot about teaching. Another maestro that is very much alive and kicking and who just came in to work with my class is Wilibaldo Galvan Ruiz, out of originally from Panuco, Veracruz, and now living in Mexico, just outside of Mexico City. And he's an amazing force and still dancing and still teaching. And now he's working with my students, and his amazing talent, focus. Of course, he knows all of Mexico, but his main, I have to say, forte is La Huasteca, everything to do with Huapangos in particular. And the other maestro that I just adored, and he's passed as well, a victim of one of the first AIDS victims, Pedro Rodriguez. And he was out of Guadalajara, and he danced with Amalia Hernandez. He was her first deer dancer. And he was another teacher that I worked with extensively. Both Willie and Pedro were my teachers while I was growing up in Sacramento. I'd say early young adult, because I became their dance partner, performer partner. And so I got this intensive, got to work with them intensively and learn everything that they had to share. So let me see if there are any other questions. And I don't see any more, but you're welcome to continue even after, because I know this broadcast will be seen later. But I want to thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed what I shared today, and I hope that I'll see you again very soon, and not on the altar, not yet, okay? Stay healthy, stay isolated, take care of yourselves, take care of your familia. Abrazotes.